Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be showing you 4 different hairstyles, super easy and they don't take long at all. But first I'm going to go ahead and curl my entire head of hair using a Remington wand. I think the barrel is about 1.5 inches thick, and I'm going to take any type of heat protectant spray and a glove to protect my hand from the heat, and I'm going to curl my whole head. So this step is optional, and if you have nice straight hair or you have hair that doesn't need to be tamed, then you can skip this step, but because mine is so crazy, I like to do this so that it's a little bit more easy to manage. So I'm just going to curl it as you normally would, but this, I'm going to alternate the way I curl it. So the first time I'm going towards the front of my face with the hair. However, the second time I'm going to do the same process, except I'm going to start from the back and curl the hair around the wand towards the back of the room. So by doing this, you're going to have 2 different curls that are going to fall in opposite directions. It just makes them a little bit more defined so they don't all mesh into one big curl. Taking one of the few tools that you're going to be needing for these hairstyles, I'm just going to use some bobby pins and pin a poof on the top of my head into place. My hair is pretty thick, so it's easy to get some height, but if you are having trouble getting some height there, all you have to do is take a good chunk of your hair, push it forward, and pin it into place, and you should be able to get some good height. The next step is just to take some hair from the side of each of your head. So I'm starting from where I left off from the poof on my forehead all the way down to my ear, taking that, twisting it just a little bit, and pinning that to the top of my, or the side of my head. And I'm going to do the exact same thing to the other side. So literally all that I'm going to do next is gather my hair up into a big ponytail and tie it down. Tie that mane down. Just get it all together into one big handful and use a big old elastic and tie it into a big horsetail. And there you go. And you can always stop here if you like too. This just puts a little bit of a twist on a normal ponytail, but we're going to keep going. So gathering my entire ponytail into my hand, I'm just going to lightly twist it as I turn it into a circle. And this is what keeps my hair from getting frizzy, is by curling it using that wand in the beginning. So by using the wand, it contains the hair and it just makes it less frizzy. So I'm literally going to take the bobby pins and pin around the entire perimeter of the hair, and that's pretty much going to be it. So pull forward anything that's not really tight and just keep pinning until you feel nice and secure. And just to add some finishing touches, I like to pull out some pieces from the front just to make the look a little bit more effortless. And this is pretty much done. So hairstyle number 1, check. Alright, let's start over. So, first step is going to be to pin the top again. Look at my roots. They're terrible. They need to be done soon. But if you can get past that, let's move on. So, I'm just going to do the exact same thing, and you can see where I pin it. I don't really go in the center. I go off to the side, but that is just where my part likes to lay. So, whatever is comfortable for you guys. Then, starting where I left off, I'm going to pretty much do a straight line down to the edge of my ear. So I'm going to use that, and I'm actually going to braid this. So keeping all the extra hair out of the way, I'm going to braid this all the way down to the tail and keep it in place with one of those itty bitty little elastics you can get anywhere, like seriously at Walgreens or Target or Rite Aid or anything. There they are. And I'm just going to tie that down, and you've got step number 1 complete. So we're literally going to do the exact same thing on the other side. So starting about 1 inch into the hairline all the way down to the corner of the ear. That's a little bit easier to see the straight line. I'm just going to move the excess hair over and start braiding. And there you are, 2 Pippi Longstocking braids, okay. And next we're going to put the excess hair up into a big ponytail, so pretty high. Gather up all that extra hair, put it in a ponytail, and we're going to do the exact same process as number 1. So I'm just going to spin it into a circle and pin it down around the perimeter with a bunch of bobby pins, and you have step 3 down. So the final step for this hairstyle is to take one of the braids and following the base of the bun, just go ahead and pin it into place. You can hide the tail end of the braid by pinning the braid into the bun, that way it hides it a little bit better. And the last step is just to take the other side of the braid and wrap it in the opposite direction. If you want a little bit more support, you can tuck the tail end of the second braid right underneath the first one, that way it just gives it a little bit more support, keeps it in place a little bit better, and then you can go ahead and finish pinning the tail end of that second braid into the bun. If you're really picky and you want to take out the elastics from the ends of the braids, go for it. I didn't really care for this one, but if you are being much more meticulous, feel free to either cut out those elastics or just pull them out. They should be super easy to pull. And there you are. We have hairstyle number 2 completed. This one would look really nice at a wedding or someplace formal where you want a little bit of a twist on your typical bun. Are you ready? Are you ready? Okay, let's start number 3. So I'm gonna leave those 2 braids in for this next hairstyle. This will save us some time. And what I'm gonna do is pull my hair in the front and just grab whatever naturally comes to your hand. So I'm just grabbing that chunk and leaving it forward and grabbing that chunk and pulling the rest back. And then whatever is left, I'm going to put that into a low ponytail. Alright, so the next step is super easy. All you're going to do is take those 2 braids that you have from the front of your head and tie them together. That's it. You're just going to tie them together with one of those little elastics and center it right in the middle of your head. So you should have what looks like this right now. So what you're going to do next is take one of the chunks that you've left out, and all you're going to do is wrap it around the initial big ponytail that we first made. So you're just going to wrap it around until you run out of hair and pin it into place. So I like to pin the hair into place by pushing the bobby pins down vertically into the wrap of the hair. It helps too if you pin the bobby pins into the braid, because the braid is a lot stickier almost, and you can really get some good traction to make those bobby pins stay so that the hair stays into place. And so you're just going to do the exact same thing with the other side of the hair that you left out. Wrap it all up until there's no more and keep pinning that into place until it feels nice and tight. For this hairstyle, you're definitely going to want to take out those elastics from the braid, so just pull them off. They should be relatively easy to take out, and undo the braid that's showing, and you should be good to go. Alright, and there's hairstyle number 3. Okay, we've made it! Hairstyle number 4. So as a fair warning, this one is a bit tiring because it requires a lot of braiding, but what we're going to do is something that you've already seen. So we're taking a chunk of hair about half the size of the amount that we used before, so only about halfway down to my temple instead of all the way down to my ear, and we're going to braid that on both sides. So we're going to do this one, and we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Now remember that when you're braiding in any of these tutorials, you need to braid your hair in the direction that you want the braid to fall. So that's why I'm braiding behind my head, because if I didn't braid behind my head, it wouldn't lie flat and it would look weird. So make sure that whenever you're braiding, you braid in the direction that you want the braid to lay. Alright? Alright. So once you have those 2 braids done, we're going to tie them to the back of the head, and we're going to just tie them together. That's it. That's all you need to do. But the only thing with this one is you want to make sure that it's kind of near the top of your head, so near the crown. You want to keep that nice and high. Before the other braids that we did were a little lower, so keep this one nice and high. Second step, we're going to do another braid. So starting from the temple down to the corner of the ear, we're taking another chunk about 1 inch long, and we're going, or 1 inch wide rather, and we're going to braid once again. And there you go. I wish it happened that fast in real life. So we're going to do the exact same thing to the other side. Remember, that's why I'm braiding behind my head, because that's the way I want the braid to lie. Yay, we did it! And guess what? We're gonna do the exact same thing. Turn right around and we're gonna tie these guys right to the center of my head again. You don't need to include any hair. All you need to do is simply tie these guys directly together and center them just so they're right in the middle and they follow the same path as the first one. And you definitely want to take out the extra elastics from the tail ends of both braids just so you don't have any extra ones laying around in the middle of your head. And what do you know it? The last step is yet another pair of braids. So we're going to take this section of hair from the back of the ear. So you don't necessarily want to take, I mean, you can do this however you like, really, but I like taking it from the back of my ear. So I'm just going to literally do the exact same thing. Once and twice, and there you go. So I'm going to tie them together, make sure that they're centered, remove the extra elastics from the base of the braids themselves, and this hairstyle is pretty much complete. The only thing about this hairstyle on me that looks kind of funny is the hair dye because I'm so blonde on top and my hair is so dark underneath. It looks kind of funny. You have two really blonde braids and then a really dark braid. So either you like it or you don't like it, but I thought it was kind of cool regardless. This one always reminded me of like a Lord of the Rings Braveheart-esque type of hairstyle, and being a humongous fan, that was fine by me. So anyway, thank you so much for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed these tutorials, and I hope that you found them easy to do and recreate. So thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe, and we'll talk to you soon.